I'll be very honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. I have rebuilt my museum many times than I can care to admit. We're talking 4 completely different layouts, testing out every theory I've had about what actually works. And you know what? Some of what I found was blooming marvellous in hindsight, but most of it, no one told me. So today we're going to go through 10 building tips that generally transformed how I play 2 Point Museum. Make sure you stick around to the end because there may be a bonus tip on there for you as well. Tip number 1 is about zoning your museum like a theme park. What I mean by this is don't just dump every exhibit wherever they're going to fit. Think of wings, nature exhibits in one area, history in another. If you picked up the Arty-Facts DLC, art gallery tucked away in a corner. The reason why this works so well is your staff aren't going to be jumping around from one area to the next. They're going to have dedicated zones which they can work on, and they'll be a lot more efficient by running this way. Tip number 2 is about staff only corridors, and this one's simple but so effective. Here's the problem: your museum's growing, your staff are constantly weaving through the guests. This way they're going to stay out the way and tucked away, and also they can have everything they need all in one place. You're not going to have staff zipping from one area of your museum over to the next just to find the bathroom. Bonus little tip in here is make sure you set these bathrooms to staff only. That way your guests aren't going to accidentally wander somewhere they shouldn't. Tip 3. Your entrance. Your entrance is the first impression, and it's also a massive bottleneck if you do get it wrong. What you want is ticket booths to have a bit of breathing space. Don't jam them right against the front door. Leave a bit of a foyer space so visitors can fan out before they queue. More importantly, don't put anything distracting right at the entrance. No exhibits, no gift shop shoved right by the door. Let visitors come in, pay their entry, and then move their way through the first exhibit. Number 4, ladies and gentlemen, benches. Do not underestimate benches. Visitors will get tired, they will get grumpy, and a tired, grumpy visitor is not spending money in your gift shops or giving your museum 5 stars. Place benches near long exhibit corridors, near your food areas, especially near the most popular exhibits where guests naturally cluster. You know what? I think to use benches as just a decoration, and nice to have. Absolutely nonsense. They're income protection. Happy rested, they're going to stay for longer and spend more money. Tip 5, and this one's a big one if you can get it wrong. Staff room placement. Right, so your team needs their breaks, obviously, but if you put a staff room in the middle of a busy area, you're going to have a door consistently swinging open for staff, in and out, cutting right through visitor flow. It looks daft, it disrupts visitors, and it makes the whole museum feel cluttered. Tuck your staff rooms in the corners, hide them behind exhibit walls, out of sight, out of mind. Your layouts will look dramatically cleaner for it, and your visitors won't be dodging a queue for creators on their way to the Roman statues. Tip 6. Exhibit density. And there is a temptation here which I completely understand. You want to cram as many exhibits in as possible. More exhibits, more ratings, more money, right? Well, yes and no. You need enough space around each exhibit for visitors to actually stand close and appreciate it. If they can't get near it, they might not want to get the full happiness bonus from it. The sweet spot is roughly a 2 tile clear zone around the key pieces. I know it does feel wasteful, but you'll see your ratings go up when they give exhibits space, even with the same number of exhibits and pieces on display. Quality of experience beats quantity every time. Tip 7. Security. Here's the thing, you don't need guards everywhere all the time. What you need is strategic coverage. Place your security stations near the most valuable exhibits and near the entrance. Those are your primary theft hotspots. You know what I found? One well-placed security chair covering a high-value area does more work than 3 guards wandering aimlessly around the whole museum. We actually did a short on this one. Check the description in the link. Tip 8. Now I know this sounds obvious, but please put toilets near food areas. When visitors eat, visitors need to use the loo, and then they're going to go look back at the exhibits again. There's a natural loop. If the toilets are on the opposite side of the museum from the cafe, the visitors are spending their time walking rather than enjoying what you built. Group the food, seating and toilets together in a central hub. Other little things you can do is hide toilets out the way so they can be a distant distraction and not taking away your lovely buzz. Tip number 9 is relevant if you picked up the recent Arty-Facts DLC, and if you haven't, we did a full guide on everything that's included, link in the description. Now with our art exhibits, you can actually change the colour of the exhibits as well as change the actual layout of them, hang in, display, whatever you want. Furthermore, each exhibit has different emotives and you can use these to your advantage. Romance, for example, creates an additional buzz when visiting the cafeteria. So make sure you do just that. Place it right next to the cafeteria. It's going to generate bonus buzz and that means bonus money for you. Tip number 10 is all about your layout. You want your guests to flow in the direction you want them to. You can create this by making massive channels for them, what's going to naturally flow through different exhibits all the way to your key star of the show. This is going to generate so much more buzz and make sure you give your guests everything they need along that journey. Bonus tip, I always promise it, so I deliver. Each exhibit has its own special buzz bonus, so make sure you are selecting them. Furthermore, if you use the info panel and look at the visualizations, you can get an idea, are you hitting the 5 out of 5 mark you need? If you are, it's gonna show up like a bright green dinosaur, as you can see right here. Make sure you're hitting all the marks correctly to ensure you're maximizing your buzz potential. Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. 10 building tips plus that cheeky little bonus to help you build the most efficient, most profitable and frankly the most gorgeous museum you probably can do in Twopoint Museum. I'll be really keen to hear what your own building and layout tips are. Drop them in the comments. I read every single one, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.